Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Daily Donald. Today is February 4th, 2025, and we've got a lineup of significant developments from President Trump's second term. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Remember, once we reach 1,000 subscribers, we'll start going live to bring you real-time updates. Major policy announcements. Executive order to eliminate the Department of Education. Today, President Trump is reportedly considering using an executive order to significantly reduce the functions of the Department of Education, aiming to eventually abolish it as part of his administration's initiative to decrease government size. This move aligns with Trump's campaign promises to eliminate the federal Department of Education and return control of education policy to the states. Education Secretary-designate Linda McMahon's pending Senate confirmation is causing some officials to suggest delaying the order to avoid jeopardizing her nomination. McMahon has been tapped to lead the effort in handing education oversight back to the states. Supporters argue that this action will reduce federal overreach and empower local authorities to tailor education to community needs. Critics, however, express concern over potential disparities in education quality and the loss of federal protections for marginalized students. Foreign relations updates. U.S.-China trade tensions escalate. President Trump has imposed a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports, citing the need to address trade imbalances and protect American industries. In response, China announced retaliatory tariffs of up to 15% on U.S. goods, including energy products. The U.S.-China trade relationship has been fraught with tensions over issues like intellectual property theft and market access. This latest exchange marks a significant escalation in the ongoing trade dispute. Economists warn of potential negative impacts on global markets, with stock indices experiencing volatility following the announcements. Industry groups express concern over increased costs and supply chain disruptions. Proposal to exchange military aid for Ukraine's rare earth minerals. President Trump has suggested that U.S. military aid to Ukraine should be guaranteed in exchange for Ukraine's supply of rare earth minerals. He emphasized the necessity of such a guarantee due to the valuable high-tech components these minerals provide. Ukraine possesses significant reserves of rare earth minerals, which are critical for various technologies. This proposal aims to secure these resources for U.S. industries while providing Ukraine with necessary military support. Supporters see this as a strategic move to both bolster U.S. technological capabilities and ensure a steady supply of essential materials. Critics argue that it commodifies military aid and may undermine the ethical foundations of international support. President Trump has signed an executive order establishing a government-controlled sovereign wealth fund, which he suggests could be used to purchase companies like TikTok. The creation of a sovereign wealth fund represents a significant shift in U.S. economic policy, aiming to leverage government investments for strategic acquisitions. Proponents argue that this fund could provide the U.S. with greater economic leverage and the ability to invest in critical technologies. Opponents raise concerns about government overreach and the potential risks associated with such investments. The Senate continues to deliberate on President Trump's cabinet nominees. Notably, Tulsi Gabbard has gained key Republican support for the role of Director of National Intelligence, increasing the likelihood of her confirmation. Gabbard, a former Democratic congresswoman, has been a controversial figure due to her foreign policy positions and past interactions with global leaders. Supporters highlight her military experience and independent perspective as assets for the intelligence community. Opponents raise concerns about her past statements and policy stances, questioning her alignment with current U.S. intelligence objectives. President Trump has announced that at least 20,000 federal workers have accepted a buyout offer as part of his administration's efforts to downsize the federal government. The buyout grants 8 months' worth of pay and benefits for leaving their government positions. This initiative aims to reduce the federal workforce by 5 to 10%, potentially saving taxpayers nearly $100 billion. Elon Musk, head of the Department of Government Efficiency, has been instrumental in promoting this buyout. Supporters applaud the move as a step toward a more efficient government. Critics, including public sector unions, raise concerns about the legality of the buyout and the potential loss of experienced personnel. Reactions from key political figures, media, and global leaders, climate policy controversy. Scientists and environmental advocates are expressing alarm as the Trump administration systematically removes references to the climate crisis from key federal websites, including those of the Department of Defense, the Department of State, and the Department of Transportation. Background: this action reflects a broader conservative agenda targeting policies related to greenhouse gas emissions, environmental justice, and public health standards. Reactions: critics liken the removals to modern-day book burnings, arguing it stifles essential information at a critical time. Despite these digital deletions, global temperatures continue to rise, with 2025 experiencing the hottest January on record. President Trump has appointed Marco Rubio as the acting director of the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, following perceived insubordination from agency staff and threats by Elon Musk to shut it down. Rubio accused USAID professionals of not cooperating with the new administration's inquiries into their funding and priorities, prompting this administrative change. Following the appointment, Rubio announced a re-evaluation of USAID to better align it with U.S. foreign policy. Democratic senators have opposed this move, characterizing it as an illegal action and emphasizing USAID's long-standing role in international disaster and poverty relief. And that wraps up today's edition of the Daily Donald. From significant policy shifts to high-stakes international diplomacy, President Trump's actions continue to reshape the national and global landscape. What are your thoughts on these developments? Is the administration steering the country in the right direction, or are there concerns that need to be addressed? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your opinions. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be bringing you live broadcasts with real-time updates and analyses. Stay tuned and see you next time on the Daily Donald.